The role of David Grant is now being played by Russell Curry.
Blake, what's with the suitcase?
Oh, would you believe I'm reviewing local lodgings for a travel guide?
No, I don't think so. Here.
Thanks.
What's wrong?
Dinah Marlar. And if Ross doesn't see it, my marriage is over.
Are you saying you left Ross?
Got any vacancies in the boarding house?
So how long do you think you're gonna be?
Oh, I'd say a week.
Okay. Well, I promised Bridget I'd help her out at company today anyway, so guess I will call you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry.
That's all right.
Dinah? Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
You been there a long time? Come on in.
No, I haven't been waiting at all. I just got here. Daddy said you wanted to see me.
Yeah, I do. Come on in.
Oh. Uh-oh. Am I in trouble?
No, not really. It's Blake. I know we talked about this earlier at Eve's shower, and things weren't going very well, and I guess they're still not. Blake tells me that she feels that if you stay at the carriage house...
Mom, I knew it. You know, I can't begin to tell you how wretched it's been living over there with Daddy and Blake. Every minute, they're yelling at each other, slamming doors. Yesterday, Blake finally slammed out for good.
She did?
Yes, and I knew she was going to say this was all my fault.
Wait a minute.
I knew it.
Blake left Ross? Is she serious about that?
I guess so. I just saw a car over at Bridget's tacky boarding house.
Oh, dear.
I tried everything I could to make things better. I tried to be friendly and to be a good guest, but I don't know. Blake, she wants nothing to do with me.
Well, let's look on the bright side, okay? Now you can come and stay with me.
Oh, I couldn't leave Daddy now. He needs me.
Well, I think that's kind of the point. You see, I think that Blake feels that she should be the one to be with her husband. It's very hard to share somebody when you're head over heels in love with them.
I know, but I needed to get to know my father. Wasn't I supposed to stay?
Sure. I just think the timing wasn't exactly right, that's all.
Well, when will it be? When I'm 40? Isn't it natural for me to want to make up for all those lost years with you and Daddy?
Yes, it is. And you've spent all your time with your father. I think it's time you got to know your mother.
I will. You know, when the timing's better.
That's always the problem with you, isn't it?
What?
Your timetable, it changes so much. I mean, when you first came to town, the visit was just going to be a short one, and then it was going to be a long one. Which is it?
Mom, it's hard to make plans when you don't have any money. That's why I was asking about the trust fund. You know, if I had an income, I could stay on and support myself. I wouldn't be a burden to you or Daddy anymore, and I could still get to know you.
But you said that if you didn't get your trust fund, you would leave. And you're still here.
So you want me to leave?
Of course not. I want you to stay. But you know, whether you stay or whether you go, I don't think that your trust fund should be the determining factor.
Well, that's easy to say when you've got plenty of money. Don't you believe me about wanting to stay to get to know my family? I really, really do want to be here. And I stayed because I thought you wanted it too.
Well, we do. We do.
And I also stayed because, well, frankly, I was hoping that you and Daddy might change your mind about the trust fund.
Well, we're not going to. But if you want to stay, and if you really want to be self-supporting, then you can get a job. As a matter of fact, we can talk about that right now.
Bridget's upstairs helping Lucy get ready for a date. When she comes down, we'll see about that room.
I'm in your hands, David. Thanks.
You want some dinner? We've got some great ziti tonight. You want some tea?
How about something that will make me forget everything that happened in the last 24 hours?
I'll tell Bridget what's up so you don't have to go through it twice.
Thanks. You know what? I don't care who knows. Ross is just so blind. He's being led around by his nose by Dinah, and he can't even see it. Then he blames me for what he can't see.
Hey, guys.
Hey, man. So you were saying?
Well, I managed to get a couple of her phone calls on tape. Now, the last one was to this guy at a collection agency demanding that you pay up this bill. So it's pretty obvious what she's in town for. She's here to hit up her parents for bucks.
Wait a minute. You said a collection agency, a credit card.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wait a minute, Blake. Did you move out?
It was either me or Dinah. Ross chose Dinah.
Wow, sorry.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I'm sure it's only temporary, right? I mean,
Yeah, no way Ross is gonna go through this separation, Blake. He's crazy about you.
It's not so crazy about me right now.
Ross will come around.
Yeah, well, thanks. I gotta tell you, it's not gonna be a picnic for you either, because once Dinah finds out that she can't get what she wants from Ross, she's gonna go over to Vanessa, batting those little eyelashes of hers, and she's gonna stir up everything in your camp. And you know I'm right.
Vanessa can take care of herself.
What is it about these parents? I mean, they're just so blind to their own children's treachery. What's it gonna take?
Look, do you think you could get a hold of Dinah's credit cards or her checkbook? Run it through the computer, see what we come up with.
I'm not going near that woman. And I'm certainly not gonna step foot in that house after the way Ross yelled at me.
Yeah, I just saw Dinah over the soil.
She was?
Yeah. Oh, no. Wait a minute, guys. I'm not into anything like that.
Man.
Like, I sympathize with you. I really do, because I know Dinah's here for the money. But I'm not going to go pick her pocket.
Where are you going?
Hi.
I got some errands to run. Good luck.
It's a fantastic event, and I'll tell you what, we're raising all kinds of money for rebuilding. Matt, would you like to get your tickets to the Fifth Street Ball? I know you can't refuse. It's gonna...
I'll get back to you on that, Nadine, okay?
Okay, well, you know where to find me. You're gonna want them eventually. Check back with me, okay? Hi, guys. How are you? Do you have your tickets yet for the Fifth Street Ball? Oh, it is gonna be just the most fantastic event. Oh, you probably already have your tickets, don't you, Blake? I can just see you and Ross there. Ross and his tails and you in the most fantastic ball gown. You are going to be the belle of the ball. I can just picture you now. Can't you just picture them? The most romantic couple in Springfield on the dance floor, twirling around to the most romantic waltzing music you've ever seen. Just to die for, right? How many do you want?
Blake, I would love to be able to help you out. The problem is I just don't have any empty rooms.
What about Dylan's room?
Hey, listen, you know, I can go to a hotel. It's okay.
No, you shouldn't have to do that. Take Dylan's room. It's okay. I don't know what I'm hanging on to it for anyway, so...
I hate to make you do this.
No, you're not making me do anything. I need to do this. It's time for me to move on.
Then good. I'll make sure the Dylan stuff is out of it, okay?
Okay, so I only just met her and I hate her. What happened?
My worst nightmare happened, that's what.
See, here, look, I've worked it all out for you. This way you could learn the oil business from the ground up. You could work with Wanda. I mean, she's a lot of fun. And, you know, she has to file and collate and fax, and there's always things that she never gets around to.
So, in other words, I'd be a kind of a junior secretary.
No, you'd be my administrative assistant. And there'd be a wide open avenue for advancement. What do you think?
Well, I think working with you would be great.
Good.
And it would be really exciting to learn about the business, but...
But what?
Well, secretaries don't get paid very much. I mean, it says they're $25,000 a year. I just don't think I could get by on that. This all just seems like a pointless experiment. You know, when all that money is just sitting there in my trust fund gathering dust.
Dinah, what it's gathering is interest. And I'm not going to talk to you about your trust fund again until you prove to me that you can manage something like $25,000.
I don't understand this. I don't understand why I have to beg for a handout here. I'm your daughter.
I know you're my daughter. I'm trying to be responsible to you, and I'm trying to teach you to be responsible.
Responsible? You call having an affair with a construction worker half your age who probably doesn't even have a high school diploma, let alone know which fork to use at a formal dinner? You call that responsible? I don't know, Mom, but I know he looks good in them, but I don't know if you like blue jeans enough to be able to look at them every day, do you? Tell me, are you buying them for him?
Don't you ever talk to me that way again. Do you understand me? I've never given him a cent, and he's never asked.
Well, give him time.
I'm going to forget you said that. Let's start all over. This is about you and about your future.
Well, okay. If those are going to be the rules, then I guess I'll have to learn to live like a low-income shop girl. I suppose that's where you'd like to keep me.
That's not true.
Listen, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to prove that I'm worthy, okay? But I just can't help pointing out this one thing, Mother. None of your other children have to go through this, do they? They have all the privileges and all the things that a high-income family has without having to prove a thing. You and Ross and your families, you have everything. I never had the benefits of being your daughter growing up, and now that I'm grown, what do I get? I get nothing. I get to be impoverished.
That's not true. You wouldn't be impoverished. The whole point of this, Dinah, and the only thing I'm trying to do is to teach you to be responsible about money. That's all.
I don't think so. I don't think this is about teaching anything. I think this is about keeping me in my place.
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you. You treat me like some poor cast-off relative that you throw a few bones to every now and then. You know, maybe give me a little job here, maybe last year's clothes. Why do I deserve that kind of treatment? I am your daughter. Or is that the problem? You're ashamed of me because I am the mistake that was never supposed to even be born.
Dinah, do you really think that I don't want you here, or that I didn't want you at all?
I don't know.
Oh, I was much younger than you are now when I was pregnant with you, and I didn't know much about the world. I did the thing that I thought was best. But it didn't mean that I didn't want you, or that I didn't think about you and imagine you all the time. I always prayed that the people that I'd given you to were really raising you with love. And I placed you for adoption because I truly believed that that was the best thing for you. And I don't think I could tell you how many times I've regretted my decision since then. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, my girl.
You go ahead and get unpacked and everything, and then, the special seating, so I'll save you some. Thanks, Bridget. Yeah.
Sweetheart. I'm sorry. You have nothing to be sorry for. I love you. I do, and I always will. Listen, this decision about your trust fund is it's just made out of love. It's just, oh, darling, it's just to protect you, that's all. I know. All right. I know. Now, it's so wonderful that you've decided to stay here. And I guess this job here just isn't the right one for you. So now tell me, what sort of thing do you really feel that you'd like to do?
Well, I don't know, maybe something in art, like maybe working in an art gallery, or...
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. That's where your background is, and with your charm and with your flair, you'd be just wonderful. There's just one little aspect that I feel I should, talk to you about.
What?
Well, the people that I know who run art galleries and are very successful, the way I know you will be, have a lot of experience and credentials and so forth.
Yeah, I know, but you just gotta give me time for that stuff.
Well, of course. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, use your time right now. Get a good entry-level job into the art world and...
Yeah, that's a good idea, definitely.
Yeah. Now, I know that sounds a little stuffy, but believe me, I had my share of stuffy speeches from your grandfather.
You did?
Uh-huh. I was a bit of a wild girl myself.
Really?
And I know what it feels like to feel that you just don't have enough money to live the way you'd really like to live. But I also know that you have to earn it yourself. You really do. Because, you know, if you take somebody's money, it never works. There always comes a time when the person wants it back, and you have to pay the piper, and sometimes that's not very pleasant.
Retain card. Retain card. Retain card. This one says call the police.
Yes, she is dog meat.
Hey! Hey! Are those my credit cards?
Roger, you are the only client that I will miss my dinner with. By the way, I guess you know who's back in town.
Yes, Fletcher Reed.
Oh.
You already heard, huh? No, Leo, I figured it out.
Oh. Right. Right. I guess, well, he's bound to make a move, right?
I imagine so.
Well, I mean, have you accomplished what you wanted to with Holly when he was out of town?
Of course. Just going to take a little longer to win her back than I'd hoped.
You amaze me, Roger. You never lose your cool. I just want you to know something. I'll be right there for the next step. Whatever it is, whenever it is, I'm there. What is it?
Those are my credit cards, aren't they?
Oh, you bet they are, Cherie. And you're in major trouble.
Me? I don't think so. You stole them from me.
No, Dinah, I stole your credit cards.
I don't see what you're so upset about, Dinah. These cards aren't worth the plastic they're printed on. They're useless, like everything else about you.
What's going on here?
Oh, Alan Michael, finally a friend. Oh, these people are all ganging up on
You
me.
just stay out of this, okay, Alan Michael? You don't have a clue.
Blaine, come on.
No, I'm not tiptoeing around you anymore, dear. You came to this town without any warning, and everybody welcomed you with open arms. And how did you repay that? By lying and cheating, trying to get between me and Ross and Matt and Vanessa?
You're crazy.
Oh, I'm crazy. I'm not the one running around with these babies.
Give those back to
No,
me.
what are you going to do with them, Dinah? What are you going to use them for? Slip opening locks or something? You should have seen it, Alan Michael. We ran these babies through a credit machine, told the whole story. Okay, you want them back? Here you go. Retain card. Retain card. Retain card. Cancel card. Call the police. You're in big trouble, dear. You know what happens to people who skip out on debts like this? Try, go directly to jail. Do not pass Paris.
All right. Fine, you got me, okay? Now everyone knows how I messed up. That's what you wanted, isn't it? So why don't you just leave me alone, Blake?
Well, listen, Roger, the way I see it is this. Reed shows up, steaming from ear to ear. I mean, wanting to tear you from limb to limb, ranting about some wild goose chase.
I got the picture, Leo.
What? Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, Ross, what a nice surprise. Actually, I'm in the middle of a meeting with my attorney. Well, you know each other, don't you?
Hi, Leo. Ross?
Yeah, well, at any rate, if you don't mind waiting outside, we'll be...
I do mind. What I have to say is long overdue.
Ah, well, in that case...
To be continued.
Have a seat.
From now on, Roger, I want you to stay away from my daughter.
Why on earth should I do that? I like Dinah. She's a very delightful young woman.
She's only a kid, so leave her alone.
Deja vu all over again. Exactly the way I felt when I discovered that you had designs on my young daughter.
Yes. You're doing this just to get back at me.
Actually, I was charmed by Dinah before I knew she had anything to do with you.
But once you found out, of course, you decided to use it to your own advantage?
What advantage could I possibly get from befriending a young woman apparently without friends, apparently without any meaningful family relationship to speak of, judging by the fact that she's chosen to live as far away from the two of you as she could get?
Well, Dinah lives with me now by her own choice, and she has a father to protect her from predators like you. This is a rough time in her life, and you are the worst possible influence.
Well, now, the reverse argument could be made. She does strike one as a rather worldly young woman.
You know, you are a
Okay, all right.
amoral.
Strike that comment. Look, it's completely platonic between the two of us, I assure you. Although, if it wasn't for Chrissy, you never know.
Just stop with the Chrissy. When have you ever put your daughter's welfare ahead of yours?
How about when I sat and suffered through her birthday dinner with you?
Wasn't that just a show to get back at Holly? I think we've seen that before. Now, I don't care about that sick relationship or your twisted view of the world, but I do care when it starts to affect Blake.
Now, wait a minute. I'm thoroughly confused. Isn't it Dinah that I'm corrupting?
You should take notes. Stay away from her.
Wait a minute. You're forbidding me to see my own daughter?
The three of us are trying to create a normal family, something you would know nothing about, and we can do it without your interference,
Okay,
all right?
Just a minute. I happen to know that Chrissy doesn't like Dinah. I know that Dinah is less than the perfect house guest, but instead of coming down on Dinah, you choose to make life rough for your wife. What is it? You just want to show her who's wearing the pants in your family, and by telling her she'd better get along with your little girl or else?
Roger, shut up.
No, now look, you opened this can of worms. So let me be the one to close it. Dinah is enchanting. There's no question. But even her doting daddy would have to admit she's a bit of a spoiled brat.
Well, Blake has nothing on her in that department. She can be her father's daughter when she wants to be.
Chrissy's the best thing that ever happened to you. If there's anything wrong with your marriage, you're the one who screwed it up.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Couldn't hold on to her, could you, Ross?
This isn't any of your business anyway, Blake. Besides, I thought, charging up your credit cards to the max was the American way.
Dinah, how much?
I don't know. A lot. Do you mind? Oh, and you, I suppose you're just going to go running straight to Vanessa with this, big news.
Never know what I'm gonna do, Dinah. How long do you think you'd get away with this?
I don't know. I thought I had a solution, and it turned out to be an even bigger problem.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that it's worse than you know, okay?
Okay, come on, you're coming with me.
Where?
We're gonna see your father. He's a lawyer. He can help.
Like, I don't know. I'm scared.
It's the only answer, Dinah.
I'm not going to discuss my marriage with you, Roger. I just don't want you sabotaging anything I may accomplish with Dinah.
Don't flatter yourself. Your name rarely comes up in our conversations.
Don't use my daughter against me, or you'll regret it.
Don't make promises you can't keep. Maybe some good's going to come out of all this after all. Maybe Chrissy has finally seen you for the self-righteous fraud you really are. You may hurt her for a while, but she'll get over it.
You're a father from hell. What kind of parent would wish his child's unhappiness in order to get back at somebody?
Chrissy knows that I love her.
She doesn't really know you. And of course, neither does Dinah. But they will. I'll make sure that both of them do, before you cause any more damage.
Hi, I'm not able to take your call right now. After you hear the tone, please leave your name and number, and I'll get back to you.
Holly, it's Ross. I'm trying to reach Blake. So if you hear from her, would you give me a call? Thank you.
Was I wrong?
Blake? Honey?
Daddy, I need you.